Okay, hello, I'm Lisa Davies and this is the Law of Attraction Masterclass. So we've got a question here from someone, and funny enough he says this may be a simple one for you, and possibly one you've heard of thousands of times, and the automatic answer is always a generic one, not from you, from media and magazines, but could also be a problem for others too. Here goes. Whatever I do, I always feel best with myself when I eat. This has caused a problem with my weight and makes me depressed a lot, so I eat more. I'd love to have a new train of thought to get me out of the circle. So, absolutely right, this is fantastic, really, really good question. And I have really been using Law of Attraction on this. So, my personal experience, just to rather than just give you a theory and put it there, so that I can talk you through where I've been going, is I've had a long history of bulimia. That was effectively around self-harming. It was about when I explored it. I mean, I'm really well trained in lots of different modalities, and I understood quite well that I was trying to hide the emotions. So what tends to happen when you're eating, lots of emotions come from your gut. So I'm going into other areas here just to help you understand a little bit. So it comes from your gut, and so you have a tendency to eat to kind of stifle, suffocate, stop those emotions coming up so that you don't feel them. Some people eat when they're happy as well because they don't feel that they're worthy of happiness. But what you tend to be doing is basically blocking up that gut so you can't feel. And so that makes you feel better because it stops you feeling the negative emotion. Okay. So with Law of Attraction, the whole purpose of negative emotion is the fact that you use your negative emotions to guide you to do something else, to focus on something else. But when you've got into a habit of your strategy has become, I have a negative emotion, therefore I'll eat to feel better, and you do, but it's not changing your shift of what's causing the negative emotion. So effectively you're kind of like putting a plaster over this, and you're putting a plaster over it, and plaster over it, and plaster over it, and you can keep doing that until you're so fat that effectively you've got another pain point then that you have to deal with. And so here we go. So what we say in Law of Attraction, and if you look at any of the work by Abraham Hicks, the consistent message is choose the path of least resistance. Now, this has a habit of going against what some health coaches, some trainers and all that kind of stuff would say. The path of least resistance for you right now may be to carry on eating. To carry on eating until you can get to a place where you can say, I'm happy to feel the emotion and be guided by what I need to do, or what you want to do is manifest something to support you in the healing that you've got to go through, the process that you've got to go through. You've got to look at possibly what your self-worth is, and why do I not think I'm worthy of decent food. So asking yourself questions is a good way to go. So Law of Attraction is about exploring things with your mind to start getting you to shift in your emotions. It's not about changing behaviour, okay? The behaviour is the very, very end point. You can mess around with the behaviour as much as you like, but actually what Law of Attraction is trying to get you to do is go way back and get you to work on the original emotion. And once you do that, you'll have a bigger impact in what you're doing. There's lots of people that lose weight because they're changing the behaviour at the end. You've really got to work on the emotional side. Whilst you're working on the emotional side, there is no point, if it doesn't feel right, in going, I'm going to deny myself X, I'm going to not do Y, I must go to the gym, I must do that to conform to society's view of what size we should be. all of that's going to do is put you into more negative emotional situations. Do what feels right. Do what is the path of least resistance. Okay, if you keep following that, you will uncover enough about what you need to do. So with law of attraction, there is no one size fits all. Your journey is your own journey. What is causing you to have those negative emotions, and the action that you need to take, the healing that you need to do, the perspective that you've got to have, the growth, the learning, the expansion, what's going to go on outside of you. God, I can feel shifts already happening. So it's really important that you keep uncovering. So for example, what you can do is, if you've got a packet of crisps or a packet of biscuits on your desk at work, assuming that's your environment, and you keep eating one after another, is ask yourself, why do I do this, and how can I change this, and how can I feel better about myself? And it's not about punishing yourself for having eaten those things. And you can possibly disrupt the pattern, like, I'm going for a walk and I'm going to ask myself, what is it that I'm feeling? What is it that I want to feel? Have I got the space to be able to feel that right now? But make sure you're in a place that you can feel those emotions and that you can work on them. Very often we're really busy lives at the moment, and you know, maybe for a little while yet, really busy lives. We've got lots of information coming in, lots of people coming at us. We have zero time for reflection overall, okay? So you probably need some time for reflection, and keep asking yourself, and honestly, you'll get the shifts that will come. And the more that you kind of resist and say, I've got to stop eating this, it doesn't work. Okay, so I've had this. So I've had, literally, I'm not joking, I would eat only bad food. I would eat only chocolate. You know, I really should have bought some shares in some of those companies for chocolate and cakes, because I would have done really well out of that. I literally funded them. I was not putting salad in my body, vegetables in my body, because that's just where I was at. If I altered that behaviour, I was putting more resistance in, I was going to get more of the same. So then I started focusing on I don't see myself as worthy. This was my journey, so I don't feel that I'm worthy. Why don't I have self-worth? How can I get self-worth? You know, why is someone else more worthy than I, for whatever it might be? Then I started not nurturing myself in other ways. So forget the food. Can you nurture yourself in other ways? So I was making sure I was looking after my skin. I was buying good products for my skin. I was buying nutritional products. So I was doing little baby steps, okay, towards finding myself worthy of changing my eating habits. And I've gone, I would say, probably 3 days now without any chocolate at all. That is the chocolate dairy form. I've been using what I can use to get me away from that, and I feel better for that, and I'm doing it out of, I don't need it, because I've started to get aligned. I've started to get a better vibration about it. So I would say, you know, if you look in the mirror and you think, I don't like what I see in the mirror, don't look in the mirror. That's a silly thing to do, okay? There's nothing, you know, do what you have to do to make yourself look presentable. If you have to have a shave, then shave in the mirror. I'm hoping you can manage that without too much resistance. If you couldn't, then don't look in the mirror. Quite seriously, if things trigger you, don't go down that road. It's absolutely fine. So I spent quite a lot of years not looking in the mirror, not getting on the scales, making sure I'm wearing clothes that it doesn't matter to me whether I've lost weight or I gained weight, because I didn't want to get calibrated into that system of measuring, and do I conform and I don't conform, and what do I make of that, and that's a judgment on me. So you can step outside of that. Find ways in your house and your home to step outside of that. I've come a long way. The fact that I'm videoing myself, I'm really shy, really self-conscious, and very unhappy, or was very unhappy about what I looked like, and I just said, well, for the sake of something else, for my business, I have to do videos. So you can shift yourself path of least resistance. That's the thing that you want to follow. You start on that. You don't change the behaviour. Path of least resistance. Start looking at the emotions. Ask yourself, how can I feel better about myself? How can I feel better about my body? If you can't feel better about your body, then feel better about other traits about you. But there are things that you can feel better about yourself. You can say, I've got great fingers. You're really agile. You're really strong. You're really handy around the house. You've got really good hand-eye coordination. Appreciate, there's loads of ways you can appreciate your body. The fact that you've got good hearing, you've got good sight, the fact that you can walk, the fact that you have complete bladder control, whatever it might be. You can find ways to appreciate your body and come from that angle and love yourself for that. Love yourself for how amazing it is, from how you've grown from a tiny baby to the size that you are today, and be okay with that and appreciate yourself in each way around that. And then you can start dealing with some of the negative emotions that's driving you to eat, and more often than not it's around self-worth, and about wanting to be worthy of having decent food, to look after yourself. And today, I think, having spoken to someone actually who does law of attraction on weight loss, I got a fundamental shift when I thought I'm going to spend most of my life doing things the hard way because I'm probably going to put on loads of weight in order to lose it, and I'm denying myself loads of success because I'm making myself fat because I've got fear of success. So what we tend to find is that we can use weight in lots of different ways. It can be impacting on your life in lots of different ways, but there's ways that you can reframe that. So for me, I go around thinking I'm really tough, I'm made of strong stuff, I'm so resilient, look how much I can get through. They're the programs that I tend to run. And today I realised, I can switch it around. Actually, it can be really tough to be thin, because to be thin means you're going to have a fear of fat, a fear of being fat, and what an awful and scary place that might be. So you can twist it around and say, I am where I am, but what's another good way of looking at this? What would it be like if I was thin? Would I feel any better about myself? Are people that are thin having the things that I haven't got? So you can really calibrate on things like that. So I hope that gets you in some good direction. Give us some feedback, and then we can do some pointers. I'm looking to do a Law of Attraction summit once we've got to 100 members. And then I'll be able to do like a direct one-to-one of shifting you through what it is personally for you, and being able to escalate you out of the negative into something neutral, and then gear shifting you up into something really positive and vibrationally in alignment with what it is that you want. So I hope that's really helpful for your question. Bye for now. And I can't stop recording.